Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Ostriv for a new city build, the city of New Raptoria. Previously in our 7-part series, we built the city of Raptoria from the bottom to the top as we climb through financial strife, starvation, and much more in this 1700s city builder. If you haven't seen the previous, the preview of kind of what we were going to do here today in a previous playthrough, make sure you check that out on the playlist down below. And thanks everybody for showing your support for Ostriv. We're going to continue then building a new city, but this is episode 1 of New Raptoria. So thanks again everybody for all your support and all the encouraging ideas and information and such on how to build a wonderful city. Today we're going to build here in this river or lake region, as I haven't done that before. Previously we built here. I wanted to build somewhere new and fresh and build something great. So let's get started. Good to see you all here. Welcome to Ostriv, built by one developer from the Ukraine. Very impressive. Alright, it is now March 1721, and we've got a huge area to build in. Well, a huge river here, I would say. It looks to be a river. It looks kind of like a lake, but you can see over here, there seems to be a long river that stretches in all the way over here and goes out over there. So we kind of got like a river delta, or maybe like a lake that's kind of connected to a river. Whatever it is, it's right over here. It looks beautiful. We've got $1,000 to start with, and I think we're going to start by building a city along here. Some fishing docks, maybe our forestry building over there, and I'll take you through step by step as we did last time in building the wonderful city of New Raptoria. So glory to New Raptoria down below in that comment section. Let's get started without further ado. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Boom. Alright, so the camp settlement is here. We've got carts, we've got water, and we've got people all around. We need to build 9 homes before winter. So we've got from March until about maybe November in order to build homes. Otherwise it gets too cold and they'll move out, making it much more tiresome and much more of a struggle for us. So let's go ahead and get our first building down, which in this case is the forestry, as they said over there. I'm going to build that right here and see if we can start logging right away. It's going to be important, a very important resource for us, firewood and a few other things. So we're going to get started with that. We're going to assign builders too by clicking on our camp center. We're going to assign some more builders to that so we have the maximum number of builders. And we're going to lay out our city a little bit before we let off the brakes a little bit. So let's build some homes over here. I'm going to try to get them laid out as close to the river as I can, but also leave room for things like the fishing docks and maybe a clay pit over here. That'd be a perfect spot. So let's see if we can kind of angle this a little bit so we can fit as many homes in the shortest amount of space that we can, or the smallest amount of space. It's kind of a short shore that we have here, and we definitely want to make use of all the space that we can. So we're going to try to build, I think, maybe 5 homes here, and then we're going to try to swing it around. So let's do like 4 here. Yeah, let's actually do, well, let's do a 5th home here. So we'll do 5. And then we'll swing it around so that way we can build some more. I'm going to build some more on top of this section here. So our people in Ostriv, of course, require all sorts of different goods in order to maintain their life. Everything from potatoes to beef, milk, sunflower oil, other things for trade. Money is important to be able to send out messengers. There are other cities on the map, so we definitely want to make sure that we are trading with them as well. I'm just trying to make sure that this is as square as possible across the street. And an interesting thing that a lot of you might notice is that after we unpause and the city starts to grow, you'll see people walking around the city and creating actual footpaths. So roadways are made by people walking, and it's a really cool thing to see. If you've designed your city in a certain way, you'll see that if you build a central square or something, you'll see a lot of people walking through that area, heavy foot traffic, and a lot of what looks to be roadways there. Alright, it's kind of hard to see, but we've laid out 5 homes on either side, so we have 10, so room to spare and room to grow here. So let's go ahead and hit off the brakes here, and let's go ahead and watch everybody start to function. So you'll see men grabbing carts right away, so that way they can start transporting goods that are stored here. Specifically, nails and lumber are going to be used first. You can see that some of these little crates here are going to be loaded with nails, and they're going to go and grab those from the camp storage. And then lumber that's stored over here. This man is going to load the cart up with lumber, and then they're going to haul it over to the forestry building to start construction, which is right over there. We're also going to need clay in order to construct homes, and nails, so the smithy, who can make nails out of iron, is going to be very important too. We'll put our clay pit here. A, is it's kind of out of the way a little bit, and B, because it's real close to the homes and can provide them with a lot of building materials nearby the construction site. You can't ever delete a clay pit once you build it, but it's good over there, I think. It's out of the way. Perfect. So we've got 10 homes down and ready to go. We got our forestry building. Next, I think is going to be very important is our thatchery building. I do know that after a while, you will run out of thatch, which is used to build roofs, especially for those in homes. So we'll have to build a thatchery somewhere close to the river. Like, for example, here where there's all the thatch. If I built it over here, for example, there's no thatch. So the people who work there would have to walk a little distance in order to find reeds in order to make into thatch. So we don't want them to really have to walk that far. So let's go ahead and build it maybe over here. And we'll have that constructed right there. And the people who work there can basically walk right out the front door, grab everything they need, and start drying it again. Very important is fish. Fish are, like most meats, are eaten year-round, and especially if you make dried fish by acquiring salt from trading, that's going to be a very important thing too. Many of you have seen that last time, is that fish can be turned into dry fish and last quite a long time. So let's build a fishing dock maybe here. And that'll be close to the town, so once they're done fishing, they can actually bring fresh fish to a granary or a market stall and be sold right there directly to the people who live here. We're also going to build ourselves a boat yard. Where is it exactly? A boat yard here, and that way we can make boats for our people to go on and be able to fish from. Perfect. We'll probably build 2 fishing docks here, and then maybe a third somewhere down the line to provide more and more food. Alright, the first building is going up. One of the first things to notice in Ostriv is that when people are building buildings, they seriously build them. You'll see the foundation go down, the framing, the walls, the roof, everything. So you already see the support pillars going into the ground for the forestry building. And this building requires, it's really the coolest building in the game. It produces a lot of useful material. It produces logs, which then can be made into lumber for building homes, which can also be made into firewood for heating homes, and then also bark, which is needed for the tannery. And once the tannery is up and running, of course, once you got your farm up and running, things change. So the Raptorians are bringing over all the materials that they need. Excellent. I'm going to build the smithy nearby, and we can kind of create a industrial area out of this that we can fence off and kind of maintain in its own little area. And we can put a cart over here as well, so that way they always have carts. And what's nice is in our previous run, our carts and things were disappearing, our oxen, everything was going haywire. But now we've got a fresh start, so we can see things work as they should. Alright, the next thing we want to build is the forestry building. I want to build the thatchery maybe after 3 homes, and then the rest of the homes, and then probably the smithy is going to need iron to be imported. There's a lot of things in the game that you can't yet produce, like honey, for example, has to be imported, or iron has to be imported, iron ore to be precise, and then it needs to be turned into iron from like a blacksmith, or maybe a steel mill of some sort. Unfortunately, those buildings aren't in here yet. And again, one developer from the Ukraine, it's a little tough for them to, or for him to be able to build so quickly. Oh, look at the wonderful artwork on the... Look at that. There's actually some unique pillars to this building. Very nice. Alright, so you can see all the walls going up. Very awesome to see them build. You can see the area where the logs are going to be stored right here. I'm pretty sure that's... Oh, actually, no. That's, I think, where they cut things. The logs get stored out here, out front. And this is an area where the logs are processed. Yep, there you go. Alright, the forestry building is up. Now we can hire some people to work on that, so we better get a full crew working immediately to start making all the stuff that we need. Alright, so we should have nails, we should have lumber, we should have clay, or at least an area to gather it, so that's good. So I'm going to continue to build out the rest of the area while they're building, and I'm going to build up our town a little bit. We've got a tremendous space to build in. Look at how huge this is. Boom, farming right over here, industrial area here, trading here, and the rest of the town up there. I think we've got it nicely laid out. That seemed to be the best area to build in. If we look around, everything else is kind of smaller and not really an area we can build in. So this large lake here is really good for fishing, but not much else. I'd love to build out on that island, but that just seems to be the best place to build right here. Okay, let's get back to building some more buildings. Alright, next is very important, the charcoal burners, which can use wood right away, so we can get a jump start on that for supplying the smithy with fuel. Now, in these days, coal not as common, or at least more difficult to get in 1721. So the best way to get it is just by burning trees and making charcoal out of it, out of the wood. That's really right next door to us. So I'm trying to lay this out as perfectly as possible. That seems to be squared up. So now we're going to build a small building here. We can also put our carpentry building nearby too. So the carpenter is very important for making carts and repairing carts. And that, of course, will increase our village production based off of how many carts that we have and how many we need. So that's a good way to do that. Charcoal pit is built right away, And so you'll see people coming over right away to, as soon as we've got some loggers working, they'll be working right away to cut down some trees. I think everyone else is assigned to building, so let's go ahead and shrink that workforce just a little bit so we can get some logs going and wood going. Now, once a few of these homes are up, all the workers who work in this town can come right across the street and start building the next home, so things will get faster. We need to be done before, I think, November, so we definitely need to make sure that we're working as quickly as possible to complete this. Looks like we got 3 men here. You will always need 2, at least, to cut down trees, because when you notice here, if somebody cuts down a tree, it falls, and it'll take 2 men to carry it back. So you can cut down trees all day, but it does require 2 men to carry that back to the area, and then they get tired, and then it handed over to the next guy who cuts the log. As you can see there, that's where it's being cut and then turned into wood planks, where it can then be brought over to construction areas. Very cool. All right, let's put down a... what is next? The... what is it? The carpentry building. There it is. Oops, wrong one. Carpentry building right here. Very good. Very cool building. Very big building. And very necessary for cart production. So let's go ahead and maybe build that here. We could build a warehouse here, actually, to store some buildings. So let's put the carpentry building like this. And we're going to need a warehouse here to store a lot of the goods. So I'm going to try to tuck this in. Look at that. You can see all the firewood being brought over. These women here are gathering firewood that's been chopped, and they're immediately starting on the charcoal pits, which is good because the smithy will need that in order to make nails. They will need to be able to melt the steel with charcoal. Alright, let's see. The next thing I want to do is put down a warehouse. And keep in mind, we're not building any of these things yet. It's not taking any of our materials. We're just planning out the city for the future. So a warehouse here will be very useful to store additional goods that we might need or might not need at the time, so they can be transported later. Okay, I'm going to build that there. Okay, that should be good for that initial industrial area. Eventually we'll start building things like shoemakers and weavers, which will provide a huge boost to the economy. We can build a trading post, and once we have cattle, for example, imported, which it takes about maybe $400 or $500 in order to do that, we will have ourselves a source for leather and food, which we can then trade. Meat trades, of course, for a much higher price because there's much more complex supply chain for that. The first home completed, and the first people moving in now. You'll see the tents disappear when people are moving in. So in total, I think there's 9 here. So we need to have 9 homes, preferably more, maybe 10 or something to get us through the first winter. We won't be able to have food up. There's really no way to be able to start farming and things like that. That's why it says to build all houses for families before the winter. So they have enough food in their homes. Like if you click here, you see that they got drinking water, sunflower oil, some other things to keep them hydrated and healthy for the winter until the next year. Let's build ourselves a well over here, so that way people can get to water. And we'll just kind of tuck that into the forest, maybe. A little forest well. You know, actually, people are so close to the river, you'd think they'd be able to get the water from anywhere. Maybe we can make a town square for this. But I think we'll tuck that over here. There we go. And that'll get built eventually. Water's not going to be too much of a problem. Alright, more firewood brought over, and one of the charcoal burners already working. So when the smithy is up, there will be plenty of charcoal ready. It takes almost like a month for all that stuff to burn off. If you watch the timer, you'll realize it takes quite a bit of time for the charcoal pile to create a sufficient supply. Okay, let's see here. Lots of logs being returned. Excellent. And another home being constructed, I'm sure. Yep, and clay being delivered too. So you can see how the homes are constructed. The foundation going down first, and the areas for the floor being constructed too. All the joists and things to hold the flooring up. And then the walls, the hearth will go down. And then eventually the roofing pieces and the roof itself. Alright, let's speed up time a little bit to watch more of our people work. Really not much we can do now except for wait. And our city is kind of really spread out here, but eventually this camp will disappear, and so the whole workforce will live up here, and then they'll just go south to work either at the farm or the industrial area. So really good idea to keep everyone together in an area like in a suburban home, so that way you can help to supply them a lot faster via the shop stalls. So that way you can make one market area, and each market stall holds 4 items. So in a town that will require many different items like flowers, potatoes, dried fish, sunflower oil, sallow, milk, drinking water, and firewood, the only thing being the drinking water that they get on their own. Everything else has to come from the market. Alright, home number 2 is almost up. And I think we've got a full building crew, do we not? Oh wait, we better speed up building. Make sure we assign more people to building then. We want to make sure we're full build. So let's at least have 2 people working at the forestry building. We might not need any more people at the moment. 220 something wood is good. But let's extend all of our stuff now into building. We want to make sure we're focused more on building now. And then the thatchery has to go up. Otherwise we'll run out. We won't be able to build all the homes. Now, as you can see, I may have mentioned it before, you can watch all the people walk, and you can see the paths start to kind of form from their footpaths, kind of become roads. So you can see that if you lay out a town and put down decorative things such as fences, you can actually force where they walk to, and you can create roadways that way by funneling people to walk certain ways. They won't... They'll take the direct route, as you normally would. They don't follow any roads. They kind of make their own. But you can kind of control where they walk with the fences, which is really neat. Government tab, education, coming soon, health. Religion really doesn't have anything except for burial plots. And we'll have to get to that at some point. Nobody's dead yet, so everything's going good. And our money will continue to go down, of course, until we've got enough supply to trade and trade going on. Right now we have 1,052 nails, 10 iron. That's very good, and not a lot of thatch left, so good thing we've got that prepared. Alright, so it looks like everyone's bringing all the materials over. Boxes contain nails, and the planks there, or the beams there, are the wood that is needed for the rest of the flooring and the walls, and then the clay, of course, for the walls as well. Very good. Very good indeed. Love watching that construction. It's probably the most interesting thing to do in the game is to build a huge structure and then watch everyone build it. I will say the home building is probably the most intricate. Everything else seems to be a quick build, even if you build something like the town hall, for example. That's a huge building, but it doesn't seem to be very difficult for everyone to build. It's basically just a big floor and some walls, like all buildings, but there's nothing really special about it. It's just like a big house. Alright, next house almost complete. Just a little bit more clay. That'll complete the walls, and then the roof comes up as soon as someone here constructs it. Our building is going to become much faster because people living in the town will be able to just walk next door and construct stuff, the more and more people that live there. So right now we've got, let's see, 29 people living here. So we've got 18 adults, 9 men, 9 women. Looks like a lot of people are looking for jobs, but they should all be on construction, I'd hope. Looks like it's a full house over there, so I don't want to mess too much with the construction crew. Let them just build. House number 3 up, and it is only May. Very good. So we're about a third of the way there. And things are going well. Get to work, people. Come on now. I can actually delete these beams from under them. Not a very nice thing to do, but you can actually delete the camp when you're all done. The tents will disappear as soon as people have a superior home to live in. But look at the nice variety of the homes. Some of them made completely of plaster, some of them having wood. The roofs are all a little different, the chimney in a different spot. But man, is that really cool. Nice variety to each of those homes. Alright, and more lumber being delivered now for the thatchery, because I think we're out now. If we take a look up here at the supply, we have 3 thatch left. So it's good that we build another, or rather our first thatchery over there. Mostly requires nails and wood. Just like the forestry building did, the shingles are all made out of wood, so you don't really need any thatch to build that. And of course, it wouldn't make sense for the thatchery to be built requiring thatch, because that's what it makes. So if you didn't have any, you'd be able to at least build the thatchery and not be stuck. Let's see if we can watch the rest of this construction. In retrospect, I guess we should have built our camp a little closer to the water. However, this area here is going to all be for future homes, so it really doesn't matter. And here comes a huge construction team. Perfect. Closing in on the target. Excellent. All done. Alright, let's hire some people here to work on reeds. I think we can just hire a full crew. So they'll actually come right out here, pull the reeds in, dry them out, and then they become thatch. So reed turning into thatch, and then thatch will be brought right over to construction sites. So now, home number 3, June 1721. Home number 3 now receiving its nails. Rather, home number 4, just next to home number 3. And then the clay. Perfect. And hopefully the construction crews, yep, just as I'd hoped, come right out of the houses here and start building their neighbor's home. And so on and so forth. So construction should now be steady, and we should have everything we need for this. So we've got 2 people over here working on logging. So that'll be a continuous supply of lumber. And then we've got clay over here, of course. And we can put fences down to make sure that they don't walk through the forest and everything. But, oh, and also our well will go down too. I wonder, I think we should probably build that after home number, whatever home there, just to make sure we've got water supplied for the winter. Okay, July 1721, and home number 4 is going up, almost complete. Nice thing is with the thatch right here, it's not a long walk to get that supply. And the charcoal buildings are nice. Look at that, we've almost got 100 charcoal in each of those. Very good. That's good, now all the firewood can go directly to the homes for the winter, which I think they actually have enough. We might want to build a market stall, though, to start with some of that stuff, so let's do that. I think we can make a market... oh, we're eventually going to build our town. We're probably going to... I should have built these a little further away from the water, just so I could bend the town like this, but that should be okay. We can build a big market center here. And then we can have the... This kind of be like the center square of the town, even though we can't build anything out of brick. Which is kind of a shame, but whatever. Let's go ahead and build next to this house here. Alright, then I'm just going to rotate these around. And we will have to hire people here, but they can at least provide with firewood. Good. And did I put down cart parking? I don't know if I did or not. I don't think I put down a cart park over here. Let's do that. Under, is it transportation? Yes, cart parking. Perfect. This will be great for the smithy or anybody else to transport stuff back. And we'll have to build one in town, too. That way they can, if they're building something near the town, they can grab carts to bring supply back. Good. Alright, well, we got 3 carts to start with. Home number 4 complete. Home number 5 going up. Good. Almost end of July. Let's hire one person to start selling stuff. Let's go ahead and sell some... I don't know what we have in storage, but I'm just going to make sure that we put firewood at least as one thing that we for sure is selling. And the nice thing is when you build a home, it automatically is... did I put down flour? I did, okay. When we build a home, it's automatically filled with goods, so you don't have to immediately supply it. The people can wait a little bit before they need a constant supply from the city. Look at that home go. It's so nice. It'd be cool to watch a time lapse of the, you know, to have a camera up here and just watch each house go down and the city expand. The cool thing is, too, is the map over here, you can see, like, these little black lines going down, these, like, bars. The bigger the city gets, the more of those that will be there. You can see that when the buildings go down, they kind of make, like, a line. So that's kind of how maps used to look back then. And it'll kind of create, like, a line wherever a major structure is. Or, I guess, a square. But these, in this case, look like giant bars. Alright, house number 5 nearing completion. How are we doing with thatch? Oh, perfect. We've got plenty of it stored. 20 and 21. So they should be able to continuously supply everything needed here. The next thing is wood. And we have plenty of it. So someone just needs to grab a cart and bring one over. We're just a little short on carts, I suppose, at the moment. Alright, let's put down a nice little fence around this area. Maybe we should do it after it's done. Let's do a burial plot, though. We will eventually have people perish from town as they get old, and we can build a nice area to bury them. Although I might want to put that down later too, because I don't want to block any future structures. But let's think of an area where we could put that in the future. Maybe down here. It's very far away, but we can probably use the little space here that would be for really nothing, and we could put something down here. The people don't even really go to... At this moment in the game, people don't really go to a religious area in order to worship, or there's no real religious need at the moment, so just putting it down is all you need to do. So we might be able to build it over there. So that's a good idea. We'll put that there later. In the future then, next year, fishing is going to be important, so we'll have to make sure we have a fishing dock down and a boatyard. We'll probably build another fishing dock here, and possibly over there too. You need about like 4 per 200 people or something. And of course you can make fish year-round. Once you get to the winter, any fish that's in supply of the fishing dock, you can turn right into dried fish with salt. Alright, home number 6 going up. We're almost done here. I'm going to only be nervous if we get to October. It's going to be by the skin of our teeth because we were focused on other buildings, but things are looking good. I think these people are going to make it. We only need 4 more homes according to the tents. This is a storage camp, and that is just the camp center. So 3 more homes, actually. Oh, 4 more. But this one's almost done, so 3 more after that. And we'll be good. And I love our little market area. Really turned out nice. Let's build some more buildings here for that. I don't know if there's a real distance or anything that we need to kind of keep an eye on. Markets, I'm not sure exactly if it's by supply. I know it's by reserve. Like, for example, certain people are reserved items. But we'll see about that in a minute. We're going to have a lot of houses here, so we may as well put all of our market stalls in one area. Well, already looking better than our other city, I think. We've planned things out a little better. We just need to hire people now to work at these. But right now we're only selling one item, which is firewood for the winter. That's all we need, really. Okay, more logs being brought over, more wood being made, and firewood too. Good. Alright, house number, what is that, 7 going up? Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so 7, 8, 9. Alright, so we'll have 10 on this block. And then we can build another, probably 12 over here. Maybe 6 on this side and 6 on the other. And then we can continue to build up this way. I imagine in the future, with buildings like health and education, they're going to take up quite a bit of space. I'm going to put down the town hall somewhere in the future here. Maybe we can put it right here, next to the market stalls. That'll kind of look nice. Don't usually European cities like this have kind of like a town hall, and then there's a big square in the center, and sometimes there's big markets and things that are around it or in it, especially based off of the year. You know, like if it's harvest season, then they're going to provide certain things that they wouldn't at other times of the year. So let's make this our town square, and then we'll build the rest of the homes on that side. And we can always move buildings. If I don't like the thatchery there anymore, boom, we get rid of it, and we can move it down somewhere where there's more reeds. Probably, maybe down here? Nope, really. This seems like it would be the only perfect place. If I built anywhere else, there's probably no reeds. Oh, there's reeds there. Yeah, if we built anywhere else, we probably wouldn't have been able to get reeds. Oh, maybe over there. This whole area is just asking for fishing then. Perfect. Alright, well, let's put down a couple of trees then to decorate in the meantime. Let's just go ahead and plant a few. Now this, of course, is going to thicken up the forest, and we won't be hunting or fishing over there at all. Too bad we can't do hunting. That'd be a nice thing. There we go. I'm going to add a few trees to this too. Just a couple. And we'll add more later. There we go. Alright, 2 more houses to go then. Ooh, it's October and we're getting a little nervous now. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, actually, this family... Oh, they don't have a home. Okay, we want to make sure we've got everything we need. Q... Oh, they're building the well. Forget the well. Just build the houses. Go. Forget the well. Build the houses. Let's go. We want to make sure nobody moves out. Everybody on construction. Come on now. Okay, we got a guy there delivering more wood. Unfortunately, they still need to go all the way out there in order to get materials. So this is going to be close. If we lose one family, I guess that's not the end of the world. If we build a home, they'll just move in anyway. So if one of these people leave because it's too cold, yeah, we finish a house, 2 seconds later, someone will move in anyway. So it's not the end of the world. So long as you have an open space and all the requirements of having food and firewood and also, what is the other thing? Food, firewood, and water, I think, are the things that they require. Then they'll move in right away. Okay. Well, this house will be completed quite quickly, actually. So we're not in a bad spot at all. Clay is going up for the hearth, and then just more clay being delivered then. We need a cart park over here, so let's go ahead and build one of those. Cart parking needs to come into town somewhere. I think we'll put that over here next to the thatchery. So that way anytime somebody builds a house, or any structures here, carts are nearby. And we just kind of need to build it out of the way. We can build a nice park here, and we can build like a nice little park down here too. Just some trees and area that's going to be a high foot traffic. Look at that. You can see exactly where everybody's coming to. And I think if they stop working in these areas, the grass will grow back as well. So if you make a pathway, you know, if I make a main street or if I put a giant fence around the whole town and I want everyone to use the main entrance, then they can do that. In fact, we can. And I think I want to do that. We can actually build our... We could put our trading posts like right here, serving as an entrance to the town. You can see that there's an entrance and an exit to it. So we can make this like the main gate into town. And so anybody who comes into the town or leaves the town will have to go through here. So that'd be interesting. Alright, 1 house to go. I guess it'll be too cold in November, or at the end of November. So we got a month to go. Hopefully we can do it. I hope so. And we're probably getting pretty low on nails and things. Let's take a look. Right now we've got, oh wow, 450 nails. So that's not too bad. The next thing we're definitely going to have to build then is the smithy. So that's got to go up after this next house. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We got to be able to produce nails. Otherwise we're dead in the water. Alright. Floor panels are going down. Clay is delivered for the hearth. So that'll be the next thing they do after the walls. Essentially the oven for the home. And the cool thing about this game too is that people only require flour, so they can make a lot of their own food at home. They don't need things prepared for them. They don't need, you know, like a bakery, or at least not yet. But maybe that'll be a cool thing in the future to reduce, you know, you can make all the bread at one spot and export it too without having, maybe that could be another export instead of having to just deliver flour to homes. But that's the way things happened, I guess, in 1721. Alright, this house is basically complete. Just a few more materials being delivered. Clay and wood, and that's pretty much it. A little bit more clay, and then the roof goes on, and then they are done. I think some more clay. Yep. There comes the clay, and right before December, we got it, baby. That is perfect. Settlement started this year. Oh, if you hover over that, it'll tell you how many years you've been playing, essentially. That's cool. Alright, and then the thatch coming over via wagon right over to the house. And then being delivered, and perfect. Let's get those construction crews going. Excellent! Yay! So we've got a house for everybody, just in the nick of time. Alright, they're moving to a house, so that's it. We got it. Just before December. Alright, so next we're building the smithy, so that way we can produce nails. So nails are needed for the smithy to start with, so hopefully we have enough. And there comes the snow. Beautiful. Very good. Well, that was a quick build, I would say. We got a lot of stuff done and planned out for the future of the city. We've got a wonderful boatyard here waiting, fishing dock standing by, clay pit good to go. And we can actually get rid of some stuff here. Campfire, now that everyone's living in a home, we don't need that anymore. And I think we can get rid of the well too. Yep. So we can get rid of the well, people can get water from there. Tents there. Oh, they're already moved out. That'll just disappear soon enough. Okay, so we have 330, look at that, we have 338 nails and then 10 iron. So the next thing we need to start doing is, we've got to trade then for those nails and things like that. Iron, I guess I could say. So let's go ahead and make a area where the town is going to have like a town entrance. So the trading post would be good. This trading post will have to be built after the smithy so we can buy more iron. That's going to be important. So let's see if we can build our main street here. And I think we'll put fences and stuff around everything else. Good. So this will be like the main road into town, and then there could be like a street that goes this way as well. So there'll be a main street this way, and then this road here, and then we'll fence off the other area so people can't walk back and forth. There'll be a farm here, but we'll maybe make it so that way there's another road over this way, strictly to the farm. But we can separate things with fences and everything like that. Winter. 1721. Things are going good. Alright, everyone. Well, that is it for today's episode of Ostriv of New Raptoria, Episode 1. I'll see you next time for Episode 2. Thanks for showing your support and love. Again, if you want to see more of the series, just let me know, and I'll be happy to oblige. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad we're starting in a whole new city, and we've got an entire frozen lake now. I wonder if we can do ice fishing. We'll see. I don't think so. But I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, everyone. Take care. You guys are great. Yeah! Thank you, everyone, for watching.